Morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Hey.
So we're strictly talking about Alien Romulus on this, or what?
Oh yeah, I was actually gonna ask you about that, but
Yeah.
I still haven't seen it. I want to go
You
so
like it?
bad.
yeah, was it good?
I heard it ripped.
I mean, I will say, with saying the least amount, I will say, if you like the old shit, it is just fucking fanfare. Like, it is fucking.
That's what I want.
Yeah, you'll love it.
I don't want anything new. I just want old.
I mean, I like I like all. I kind of liked all of it. I thought Alien Covenant was good. I thought Prometheus was good.
Yeah, I liked Prometheus and the other two, but I get why Alien fans didn't get it. I've been seeing all the face hugger shit around New York, all the marketing stuff.
Oh, it's so sick. Yo, hot take. I don't really love Aliens.
Like the concept of Alien?
Like the concept of aliens or the movie, the franchise.
Movies around aliens.
The second Alien movie.
Oh, you don't like the second
The
one?
action-packed one?
I don't love it. I don't like James Cameron that much. He's so fucking cheesy.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
know,
like
man.
The Space Ranger, fucking whatever they were, the like Marines, the Space Marines. I don't know. There's moments that are cool, but the jump from Alien to Aliens was like so drastic. Alien was like artistic and creepy and horror-y, and then it just jumped over to like, yeah. Anyway, that's my take. I love how y'all like aliens in general.
Yeah. Yeah, let's hot take. I don't like aliens.
Good morning, Chris.
Yeah,
How you
good
been?
morning, man.
What's up, man? Good. I'm chilling. I got
Thanks
home.
for doing
I
this.
played with. Yeah, of course. I got home Saturday night and went straight to Romulus. Not to bring that up again, but I was in the San Juan Islands with. Do you guys know Kaylee Goldsworthy?
Oh yeah.
Kaylee?
Yeah.
I played with Kaylee and Matt Rubano up in the San Juan Islands.
Whoa.
Dude,
How was that?
I Googled the San Juan Islands and I was like, that's not in the United States of America.
It almost isn't, yeah.
It almost isn't. Yeah, it almost isn't. But
Do you need a passport?
No, it's in Washington. Yeah, but it's like tucked up underneath.
It's like a gray area, yeah.
yeah, it's unreal. It was like 2.5 hours from Seattle. And then a ferry, like an hour ferry. It's beautiful. It's exactly what you would think it would be. It's like Pacific Northwest, small island.
Island vibes, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably
Were you playing her music or what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we were playing Kaylee's stuff. We did like I think me and Matt learned like 15 songs, and then she did like 4 acoustic.
Oof. Yeah, I saw you posting about it, and I was curious about what you were doing.
Yeah.
with it. That's sick.
Was
Yeah,
it
it
just
was
a
good.
show or a festival?
It was a fair. It was like this Friday Harbor, which is like one of the islands in San Juan. It was their fair. So they had like a fucking biggest zucchini contest and fucking dopest chicken eggs and like all that shit.
Dopest chicken eggs.
Dopest
That's so
chicken
sick.
eggs. Dude, they were Yeah, we pet all the fucking goats. They had cows. It was cool. It was really
That's
cool.
sick.
Yeah.
Are
it
you
was
going to be
rad.
playing with her like a lot, or was this like a straight up one off? Like,
I don't know I don't know if her like goal is to have more stuff like with a band. I don't know,
Yeah.
but I would love to. It was
cool.
a fucking blast, dude. It was just like not playing at 170 BPMs and fucking
right, dude.
mashing.
We could talk about that all day.
Oh yeah, we'll get it. We'll get into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
speaking of ripping bass players, Rubano's on another.
Oh my god! I was like, really, dude? I'm like, I wasn't nervous about it. You play with other people, and it's always like, I mean, I'm speaking for myself, but it's like, all right, I'm good, I got it. And then Kaylee's like, Matt Rubano's playing, and I was like, god damn it, dude! I'm like, now you gotta fucking, I
Stress
swear,
me out.
and dude, Matt's unreal, and I'm not making fun. He's fucking unreal. At one point, we're rehearsing, and we're. It's no click, but we're playing and it's kind of just like this backbeat part. And I'm like fucking listening and I'm going, is this motherfucker keeping time or am I?
Yeah.
He's playing and I'm like, yo, he's fucking pulling me back right now. Insane, dude.
And you're like,
Insane.
dude, not cool.
Yeah.
It's
Dude,
like
I
you
was
feel
like-
like,
Yeah. After you were like, hey man, can I talk to you real quick?
I mean, can we step outside? Can we step outside?
Yeah.
Know your place,
Just, like,
dude.
Insane, man. Just insane. And even just like getting to talk to him about his experiences and like the stuff that he does. It's
He's
just like,
played, yeah. He's done so much, right? He's like, I mean, I was like checking up on him because we toured together with Taking Back, and the couple tours we did, he was that's how we became friends. But then since Taking Back, he's done like so much stuff, right? I mean, he's like teaches lessons and like, but I just remember watching him and just be like, dude, he's one of those bass players that is just so locked in and so dialed. But what he's done like massive stuff, right?
Yeah, didn't he play with like Mo's Def?
dude, Lauryn Hill.
Like it wasn't he?
Like Lauryn
Yeah,
Hill.
he's
Wait,
doing like
Lauryn
hip hop
Hill.
stuff.
Are you
Yeah.
serious?
I didn't know that. That's
Yeah.
great.
I asked him, I was like, hey man, I was like, 15 or 16 when he joined TBS. And dude, this is funny. I worked delivery for his dad at his
In New
dad's
York.
burger space in New York.
Oh, crazy.
And I never knew Matt. I just was like, Matt's the fucking hometown hero. He joined TBS kind of thing.
for sure.
And I asked him on this trip, I'm like, yo, where was that in your career? He's like, dude, I was doing crazy shit before that. He did Lauryn Hill before that, I think.
What?
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Like he was already fucking killing it, And then the TBS thing came up and he did that for a while from what I understood from talking to him. So he's kind of always been, dude, like
And
Berkeley kid.
session. He's like got that thing. You could bring him into a
I
session.
just Googled him. He played on that Lauryn Hill. He played on the Miseducation in 1998.
All right.
No.
Dude, right?
Yes.
No.
Fuck.
There's
Yeah.
no way.
How old?
Dude, I'm looking at his
Yeah,
website.
How
old
old
is
was
he?
he in '98?
Look at his
How old?
website.
45?
He's
Yeah,
45
bassist
now?
on the song "Everything Is Everything," and I used to love him. 1998, Rough House Records, Lauryn Hill.
So he was 20. He was like 20, basically.
No, he was
when
45
did
when he did that. So he's like 60.
Yeah.
No, but I mean that really does make sense with how like I think because like you said Berkeley, like I think he was this prodigy bass player that would like
You can hear it on the TBS records that he did. That one song that's like B-D-D-D-D that starts with that insane staccato thing. Yeah, it's just like
precision. Everything
Yeah.
everything he hit was exactly the same velocity. Or when he'd have to play soft, he'd play soft. But Kaylee had this like song, and there's this like banjo part. This is a bass playing podcast now. There's this banjo part, and it goes like and we're just sitting in the rehearsal space. He goes, "Oh, Kaylee, by the way, I know there's no banjo, so I just learned it on the bass."
And you're like, cool, man.
And I was like, "Fuck, dude!" I was like, "Holy shit!"
you just throw a stick at him.
Yeah, it was sick. It was sick.
I was just gonna ask, was that your first time playing with him? I know you've known him for a while, but
Yeah. No, dude, I didn't even know him. That was the first time
really?
playing and hanging. I knew of him.
Oh, wow.
but even when you delivered to his dad, like you didn't actually meet him.
No, I never
Ever?
met him, and I saved that story for when I met him in person.
Oh,
Because I was like, we had like the group chat, and I was like, I'll wait to tell him in person. And then his dad called him during rehearsal, and he was like, should I pick up? And I was like, hell yeah, dude. So I talked to his dad on the phone. I was like, hey, remember me? Yeah.
You suck, dude.
Remember me?
Straight up, dude. I think I just like didn't go one day. And I remember that like while I was on the phone, I was like, yo, he's going to remember I was the kid that just bounced. But he didn't remember, so I was like, all right, I'm good.
Chris, do you remember the first time we met?
Yeah, I feel like it was I don't remember the name of the venue. Oh, no. It was at fucking Dinosaur Island. What was that crazy ass place in Pennsylvania we played?
No, dude, it's way before that.
Dinosaur Island.
What? Yeah, I don't remember the name.
we're gonna have to come back.
Jurassic
to that, 'cause-
Park?
Yeah, we'll have to, yeah, Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Chris, I borrowed your drum kit for an video before you were even in.
Holy
Bayside.
shit, dude. Oh, my truth kit.
Yes, dude, because we
Wow,
were shooting
God.
Day Late Friend, which is I'll never take, and it was in New York, and we were filming, and back then Truth didn't have like backline kits,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Yo, I know this kid that has a Truth kit."
Oh, it was through them that we
We connected, and you brought your kit, and we played. That's when I met you, and I remember. But
that was
you,
the room video, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
I
was like
just
when you guys had the built
Oh, brutal. Yeah, videos. Yeah.
music
But anyway,
videos. Ugh.
But then I remember meeting you later when you were with Bayside, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh shit, dude!" Because you were in a band, but you weren't like
Yeah, it wasn't in
touring or
Bayside,
anything. Yeah. So
And then that's when we met at Dinosaur Land.
yeah.
That's when you had your old guitar player
and
and sang was with you guys.
yeah, Jimmy, the guy from New York. Is that what you're talking about?
It was pre-Christian. What was his name? He had a crazy name.
Strayer?
With an S.
Strayer. Yeah, Strayer.
Yeah, it was Strayer. Which I think I met you. I met Sang. But yeah, whatever Dinosaur World, whatever that crazy place was with the volcano on the roof.
Yeah. Oh, you mean
I don't- this
Rainforest
doesn't sound
Cafe?
real.
Yeah, yeah. Rainforest. Yeah, they had sparklers in their dessert. I think. Yeah.
I have no memory.
Wait, I got a question. We talked about it earlier. When we were young, both of you guys hung out.
Chris, I just told this story to Tim about when we watched Manchester, and I smoked that joint that you gave me. And afterwards, I'll never forget. We were sitting there, and I looked at Chris, and I was like, "Dude, I feel." I feel it like right there. And Chris is like,
That's right.
yeah, dude, you were smoking it like a cigarette. He was like, Chris was like, dude, I
Yeah, you were
literally
just
was
fucking-
like, whoa. He was like,
yeah,
man, Nate's getting it. Like I was just
yeah,
in there. But
casually smoking it. Yeah. Oh shit.
Wait, but I gotta. Didn't it go further into the night though? I feel like there was more to this hang that we. I feel like you guys had even a crazier night. Am I wrong? Or
I don't think it got like
Then we
crazy.
watched Derek
We
Grant
just-
play.
That's and that's why I told that story too. I'd never seen them or even
Yeah.
seen him play, and I was so locked in. I was like, dude, this dude rips. But you were like telling me like you got to watch him, and I just remember being like, and that's when I missed Paramore. Remember, I was like, oh, what time is it? What time
Yeah,
is
what
it?
time is it? I look Thursday.
Are you guys playing it this year?
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Okay, sick.
That'll
be
yo. So do you guys know? You guys all know its specific albums, right? Every band's doing a specific
the whole festival,
whole thing. So it's a throwback to like the big album. How the fuck are they working out the time slots if everybody's playing their
Different, yeah. Some of them are 30 minutes, some of them are 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Like,
Wait, what is this the first time they're doing this, or that's always
Yeah.
been the theme?
We've been
Okay.
talking about that, like how that's going to go, because I think our set last time was like 35 minutes or something, 40 minutes maybe. But like that album, you know what I mean? Like every album is going to be
you know,
long or short.
some of the people that do that festival playing, that job's got to be just
Nightmare.
oh,
The
dude, I can't.
logistics?
Yeah, just absolutely.
Remember how smooth it was though? Remember like
So smooth.
when
It was
when
the
everyone was
easiest.
like, how is every fucking band gonna play? And then it happened and it was
Perfectly.
on time.
Was
Yeah.
it
And maybe
rotating?
my
What-
favorite.
Yeah, it was rotating. It was rotating
Rotating?
stages.
Yeah, every stage switch. But dude, and I thought it was going to be like a shit show one way or the other to the guests or to the bands. It didn't feel that way at all.
Nope.
We were chilling backstage. Everything was on time. There's a cool area for bands. Like the crowd seemed good. Like it was one of those fests where I was like, no one even thought it was going to happen. And then the fact that it happened and was
Crushed.
dialed
Yeah,
was insane to me.
I said to someone they were asking and I just actually had this conversation yesterday because it's coming up again. They were like, "How is it attending it?" And my feedback for the festival when someone asked me about it before I said anything about playing backstage anything, I was like, "Yo, if you're a festival goer, it is fucking dialed." They put AstroTurf down everywhere. There's garbage cans everywhere. I guess that's my standard for a good show.
Yeah,
But it was just like
trash cans.
trash receptacles and water stations is really all you need. I guess.
yeah, exactly. But it was so clean.
It was. It was a
awesome.
great fest. Yeah.
Wait, when is
I'm
it
excited.
this year? When is it?
think it's like-
October, end of
Maybe I'll-
October, mid October,
I'm gonna-
end of
I'm gonna-
October.
I might go. Maybe I'll come.
It's just
come on.
it's 2 days in a row now. It's Friday, Saturday.
It's a hang because it's like everyone you know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
That would be fun.
It's fun. It was almost overwhelming at first, but
It
then I
was.
just settled
Yeah.
in. I was like, I literally would made the decision. That's why it's funny. I like miss Paramore, but I was like, I'm just gonna hang with Chris all night. Like I just was like, when you're trying to like find other, like, oh, this person, and especially the night before, dude, the text of like, I'm at this casino. No, I'm over here. No, it was like I just had to be like, all right, like find one thing and just like chill. It is a fun hang.
yeah. I was the same. I was overwhelmed because I'm just like, man, all these fucking people. Like I know everyone's friends, and I'm like, fucking. And then I got there, I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
It was the same thing. I was like,
Well, we just chilled. I mean, the day it got canceled too. Remember, we just like went to that coffee shop and then we just chilled. It was
just
fun.
spent some money.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Got paid half.
It is 2 days though, right? Like you play both. Right?
Yeah,
We're playing both
the
days
first
again.
one was 2 weekends. That's why it kind of sucked though, because everyone's like, "What do we do for 5 days?" Like some bands
Oh, right.
jumped on and toured, but we like played a show, but then we like flew home, then we flew back, and like from Florida to LA, it's pretty brutal. So.
You did both weekends?
We did. You did too, didn't you?
Maybe. Possible. I don't recall.
I think y'all drove, obviously, because y'all are closer.
Yeah.
But I think, but we flew home and then came back. But this year they're just doing 2 days in a row, so not another weekend.
Same set though, so 2 days. It's just the same thing.
I think so.
I think it is. Yeah, I think it's.
Oh, so
like-
it's the same. Both. It's not like some bands are day 2, some bands are day 1. It's all like
No.
And I
You
think
just double it up.
people- Well, dude, last year, check this out. Last year, Nate was just saying the first day got winded out, whatever you want to call
that was
it.
2
It
years
was so
ago.
windy. Yeah. And dude, so people who like flew in from fucking Hawaii for like the Saturday show, nope. And Sunday
It was
sold out.
sad. Yep.
That's great.
was that year split? Like some bands were day 1, some bands were day 2.
Nope.
No, it's the same.
That's so crazy.
Same shit.
Yeah, that
So
is
you couldn't
crazy.
even go. So then, holy crap, dude, do you remember? So that day got canceled, and then all the bands started scrambling to put shows
Play
together.
shows that night.
That's right.
So we played with Thursday, Anthony Green. Yo, that's a good story.
I have
Thursday, Anthony Green, I think someone else, but last minute put the show together. Dude, we pulled up and there had to have been, no joke. I mean, the venue probably held 250 people. There was probably 5,000 people in line because there's nothing else to do. You're not seeing any fucking bands.
Right.
So everyone's waiting. We got out of the van and it was on the strip and there were a bunch of those like overhead like light bulb walkway things you walk under, and we walked out and it was the only time I ever felt like we were in the fucking Beatles or something. Like everyone was like, thank God you're here.
Yeah.
The music, like I'm like, what
the music.
Oh man, yeah, we love the music. But Nate, tell him what happened. Tell him what happened with you though.
So that night I was hanging with Andy Sprague, who we all know, and we were like, yo, we got like, what are we gonna do tonight? I was like, let's go hang with Bayside. It was y'all on Thursday, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, let's just go hang. Like, let's just go do it. And so the name of the venue, I can't remember. It was like, this is the name of the venue. And Andy and I were like, dude, sick. It's like so close to our hotel. And like, dude, cabs are gonna be crazy. Uber's gonna be crazy. Let's just walk. And we start walking. And it's not as close as I thought it was. Andy's like, oh, it's like 2 miles. So like, whatever. It was super windy. So we walked to this venue and there's like a lot of people outside and there's like a line, but I'm like, okay, we like look at the door and I call Chris. I'm like, dude, where are you? And he's like, okay, so like, if you're looking at this, like go to the left. And I was like, okay, yeah, I think so. And we're like walking around and I was like, Andy, I don't think this is right. Like, I don't think this is the right venue. And he's like, dude, I saw on the sign, it said I saw it post Thursday Bayside. And I was like, okay. So I'm like talking to Chris and Chris like, you see this door? And I was like, what? I was like so confused. And he's like trying to walk me through it. And we finally walk around to the front and on the sign, it says Bayside and Thursday are not playing here. And I was like, Andy, for like 20 minutes, Chris is like, you see the light in the hallway? And I was just like, what, where am I? But dude, it's the same name. It was like the venue owned two different locations.
Them, yeah.
And then we Ubered it or we checked and it was like 45 minutes away. I was like, we're not
we're
not
right,
going.
What do you want to do now?
Like, sorry.
We'll do a Taco Bell Cantina now.
Yeah, I was like, we're out of here.
I was just in Vegas for a friend's birthday party, and the hotel that we were staying at across the street literally was an In-N-Out, and we wanted to go there for dinner. And the walk from our
because
hotel,
because
you have to go all the way down. It's literally like an hour and 10-minute walk, and I could throw a rock through the front window.
It's like New Jersey.
Yep.
Yeah.
No left turns, dude.
No lefts, dude.
Insane.
No lefts. Yeah, I'm not a big Vegas person. Nick loves Vegas, so when we go to Vegas, he's fucking blasting the Killers and just like, oh yes. And I love that. I love that for him because it's like fucking epic. It's like if you dig a spot that much, I'm good for like a night.
Yeah.
I'm good for like one night. I'm out.
Yeah.
It's all everything about being there is exhausting.
It's so not for me. I really don't. I don't like it at all. There's nothing about it for me because I like gambling. I'm not really into it. Like, I guess it's like fun. You can like, people are smoking cigs inside. It feels like
the best
old
part.
school.
Yeah, right.
It's like,
Mhm.
Best
cool.
part, smoking indoors.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And it has like a vibe, right? Where you're like, dude, this has been around forever. And like, think about the history, but there's nothing for it for me. I'm like, all right, like, let's go.
It's also like, I love gambling, but I'm also responsible. So if you cap yourself at like $200 or $300,
fucking hour,
that's gone in 25 minutes. Yeah. Like you don't need a whole night. You need to stop. It's like a stop off the highway, and then you just keep driving.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one time I actually gambled was at the penny slots, and I had $60. I was like, I'm willing to lose that, and they started bringing me Buffalo Trace the whole night, and I just drank free Buffalo Trace and lost. It kind of canceled each other out.
I've never done the penny slots. You got it. You're getting your money's worth, right? Like you can play.
If you play long enough.
Yeah.
The trick is with penny slots is you have to play only the slots that have progressive jackpots. The normal penny slots are you literally wasting your money, but the ones that were like if you hit a bonus, you get $100 or $200 or $5,000 or whatever. Yeah. You can sort of game those to the point where you put your 20 or your 100 in, you max bet, you hit a bonus on the max bet, you win a big chunk and then you go back down to doing like 25-cent bets and you just kind of work your way back up.
Oh.
You can make $100 work for 4 hours and just keep drinking free drinks. And even though you're going to lose that $100, you just cost the casino $8,000 in whiskey because you've sat there for 2 or 3 hours. And that's kind of how you beat. That's the only way to actually beat that.
You should write a book, Jordan.
Welcome to our gambling podcast.
Yeah. Jordan's the coach now.
This podcast talks about bass and gambling.
Everything but drums.
Yeah, 30 minutes in and not one thing
Yeah,
of drum
yeah.
has been discussed.
He's got a drum set behind him too.
So, what's your favorite symbol?
I mean, actually, I got an actual question.
What's your favorite symbol?
Chris, so I mean, we know each other from doing a tour together back in the day, but I never actually knew how you ended up getting with the Bayside crew and how you started with them. Because I mean, you briefly talked about pre-Bayside at the beginning of this, but
I played in just a bunch of bands like out in New York, and we had a mutual friend named Allie, and the Bayside guys had that accident, and after the accident, Jack and Nick stayed on tour. They ended up finishing it acoustic, and then when they came home and kind of like rebuilt the band, they started touring again full band. And I think things just weren't working out with the dude that they had. And
What's his name?
Dude, honestly, I don't even know.
Put him on blast.
I heard some shit and I was like, yeah, you can't be doing that. You can't be doing whatever he was doing. But yeah, just a mutual friend was like, oh, I got this friend Nick. They got this band and they're looking for a drummer. And I was like, let them know I'm ready to rip, And then you do the whole like, all right, 30 songs.
I hope they actually said that to him. Like, I got this guy. He's like, he's ready to rip, dude.
He actually he told me to relay that message exactly as
he's ready to rip and I'm ready to shred. So let's meet up. But yeah, nothing crazy. It's not like a super romantic story. It's just kind of like friend of a friend. Hey, I know this guy. And then I remember joining like before playing together. It was like all right, let's see if you could hang. So I went to Ant's house with the guys and just sitting in the room, just like, what's up? Super fucking like, all right.
Was that awkward?
What's up, dude?
That's so funny. The vibe check. Make sure you pass.
Yeah.
They're like on one side of the room and you're on the other. You're just like, everyone's just staring at you.
Just straight up.
What do you guys want to talk about next?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why did you leave New York for the Best Coast?
Oh, dude, I'm like looking out my window right now. I'm like,
yeah, you're like, that's why.
Look how nice it is outside. I'm like, still,
you're like,
still,
first of
I'm
all,
like,
California doesn't smell like pee. Second of all,
it's true, dude. I'm legit like, well, Natalie, my partner, is from here, who I met on tour with you, Nate. I met Natalie like
I remember
on that tour at Glass House. And dude, honestly, I moved here when I was 18 and was playing in a band for a while. And I remember getting off the plane at LAX, dude, LAX.
Yeah.
Like shithole. And I remember getting off the plane and being like, I'm going to live here. Not at LAX, but I was like,
I'm going to live here.
I'm gonna live in this shithole.
Yeah.
It's like
they had trash cans. There wasn't AstroTurf, but yeah, they had trash cans.
Yeah, I've always wanted to live here. So it was just kind of it was a matter of time,
Also, your house rips, dude. It's so sick.
It's cool. It's
I'm always just
thing.
it's so
great.
cool.
Are you in LA proper?
No, I'm in Orange. So like I'm in
great.
Do you know the movie That Thing You Do?
Oh yeah,
Of course.
So they
The whole
filmed
thing.
you live down by Villapiano's?
what is that? It's probably what I'm talking about.
The spaghetti place that they play in at the beginning.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, no, the dad's like dishwasher store is the Orange Circle.
Oh, crazy.
that's cool.
So like that area that you see in the movie, like I live like a mile from that. Yeah.
Well, Jordan's talking about this spaghetti place.
It's got to be down there somewhere.
it's by the airport, remember?
Yeah.
It's by Dinosaur Village.
Dinosaur Land.
Isn't
Dinosaur
the
Village.
actual bass player in that movie is like an actual dude, right? Isn't he like a punk
Yeah.
bass player guy?
Wolfman, the guy at the end.
No, not Wolfman.
Yeah, Wolfman. Wolfman.
The guy whose name in the movie is just TB Player. That's his actual name. That's his name.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, he played. Who did he play? He played in like
wow.
a band, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he's like a punk dude. He's just like been around.
Huh.
Wait, actually, now that this is brought up, do you ever watch a movie and there's like the band's playing and you're just like, that's not the song. What but he, what's that guy's name? The guy that played the drums.
Yeah, he learned it. He actually learned it, right?
Yeah, he actually learned. I mean, it's incredible to watch like him play the parts, and like it's pretty nuts.
Yeah, it's unreal. He said he knew how to play.
Great
a
movie.
little bit.
That's a great
You
movie.
can't just teach anybody how to fucking play and not look like a goon.
I thought he learned how. I gotta check this out.
He at the end of the movie plays with Del Paxton.
Yes.
Yeah,
right?
dude. And the groove he plays, I know it because he sits down and he starts playing, and I'm like, that's kind of sick.
Yeah, that is a great
drum
just
movie.
music movie in general, and I don't feel like there's not a lot like
No, he
that
learned from Bill Ward, taught him for the movie. He didn't know how to play before
at
that.
all.
Wow.
I thought
At
he
all.
knew a little bit, dude. That's actually crazy because, like Chris said, without being like drums are the hardest, it really, to make it seem like believable and to actually like, oh, he's playing drums, that is a tough thing. Because even if you're like, I'm going to teach someone guitar, like I think I just saw the Stranger Things dude that like plays the Metallica solo. That dude didn't know how to play guitar, and he learned how to play that solo over like 6 months. And not to be like that's easier, but it is. Meaning, like, no one's gonna know if he's hitting wrong notes. But with drumming,
exactly.
you watch a drummer, and if it looks like
True,
it's harder to like actually make it look real.
Did you guys watch the Sex Pistols show that's based on the guitar player's book?
No.
I think who's the guy that did Train Spotting? What's that director's name? Anyway, he directed it.
What's his name?
And it's really good, but Danny Boyle, yeah.
Danny Boyle.
He directed it, and it's really good, and like it's based on Steve's books, and they were all involved, so it's like pretty accurate. But there's a bunch of performance footage of them in the show, and then there's a bunch of performance footage of Joan Jett, who they knew. She lived in London with them at the time, and all the actors actually performed and re-recorded the songs, so they sound slightly different. You can kind of tell.
Cool.
Interesting.
But they actually there's a footage of them performing in a prison, and they're actually playing, and you can tell, like in the sound mix, as a musician, you watch it and you go like,
and visually,
they're doing it.
Yeah,
like,
that's
they're
cool.
actually doing that.
Yeah.
I had a
it's pretty sick.
friend tell me once he was a tattoo artist, and I was apprenticing under him, and I was like, man, I'm not doing this anymore. Like, I can't fucking draw. Like, he's like, you got to keep practicing. I'm like, no, dude, here's the thing. Like, this isn't good. Like, this isn't going to be a good situation if I start tattooing. Like, it's not working. And he goes, well, I could play drums if I practice. And I'm like, no, you can't, dude. No, like, that's not how that works. Like, just because you want to doesn't mean you're going to be able to do it. Like,
that was funny.
that's not how that works, man.
Yeah,
No,
but it's so true, dude. It's like,
I know what he means.
Yeah,
I know you could buy a drum set and you could sit at home and slap
be
them
like,
around.
I could play
Yeah.
drums.
Yeah, but I could buy a tattoo machine and fucking destroy people.
I like the self-awareness that you're like, I'm not going to put permanent things on people because I'm not good at it.
This can't
but also,
be, yeah.
but also you were like, no, you can't play drums.
Also, as someone who's also like pretty tattooed and mostly in shops, that has not stopped many people before.
That's also
Yeah.
true.
Hey,
True, yeah.
Way to be self-aware and not
Yeah,
just be like, no,
yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm solid. I love how you're like, I can't draw.
Yeah.
Shouldn't that be like
That's a prerequisite.
That should have been the first thing you thought about. Yeah.
Hey, I can't draw. I should tattoo people.
Yeah.
I've been practicing for months, dude. It's not changing.
Wait, what
looks-
were you? What was
Just
like the
stick
first things you were
figures.
trying to draw?
Dude, I couldn't fucking trace the shit. Like, I was tracing stuff, and I was like, dude, this is like so beyond fucked up.
I love that you're like, I have a lot of tattoos. I like tattoos. I think I'm going to tattoo people. It doesn't work.
I'm just gonna go play the drums. Yeah. No, you're not.
I like drums. I like music.
Yeah.
I could do
Yeah.
this.
Nope, not happening.
So Chris, you're an avid cyclist, and so you can feel free to talk about that a little bit. But we talked to Riley the other day.
No particular question. Just go for it.
Just
Talk
run
about
with
bikes.
that.
Hey,
Yeah.
I heard you like riding bikes.
There's
That ruled.
all right. There's a point to this. We talked to Riley a little bit ago, and he played baseball, and I was curious about his just experience being a baseball player, and if there's anything he learned from that transferring over to how he plays drums. And I was curious to ask you the same thing about cycling.
That's a good question. I feel like there is stuff, and it's like it's not super big things. Oh yeah, I guess it is big because right, you go out and ride. I don't know, anywhere to an hour to up to 6, probably on average 2 to 3 hours. I feel like the thing I noticed the most transferring over was like approaching approaching playing drums like an athlete, right? You're going and you're playing for hour and 15 minutes. Why not approach it mentally and or physically the same way as an athlete? How come drummers don't have like, this sounds so lame, but how come drummers aren't using like 30 minutes in like a gel or some sort of hydrator? The way my brain starts going from riding is like pacing a set, pacing your ride. I think that's a little more of the obvious one, but like, how come we don't focus more on the fact that it kind of is like boxing or cycling? It's so much closer to that than not, you know?
Yeah, almost than other like instruments. You know what I mean? It's almost closer to a physical thing than being like playing guitar. It's closer to like
there's a lot of endurance to it.
Why are we never taught to stretch after?
Oh, dude, yeah. I mean, I started bringing I have like a Theragun. I started doing that after we play.
Yeah.
Game changer.
Night and day, dude. Just get the crap moving. Get the crap out of your arms. Next day, you don't wake up with that like sound check hands where you're like, oh, they feel like bricks.
Every time the first day you're like doing this, it's just all the blood in your arms just rushing to your fingertips, like just like all out of your muscles, you know?
Yeah. I feel like stuff like that. What'd Riley say?
His was like about dedication and like, you know, showing
persistence
up on time
and
being, persistent.
Well, he also brought up anxiety, like but also
it ended with him in performance anxiety, like the anxiety of play.
Word, like racing or fucking playing a game up to bat.
Sure.
Yeah, like you're up to bat, like it's your chance. Yeah.
That is such a big thing too, man. You talk about people, you know, you hear about athletes, runners, motocross guys. I know motocross is like you get to the line and those guys' heart rates are fucking pinned before they even start. So yeah, like managing pre-show. I mean, I know I get pre-show anxiety. Mine manifests in kind of like, if there was a bed, I would go to sleep right now. Like I get this weird sleepy thing. Yeah. And then you play and you're like, I'm up. I'm awake now. I'm awake.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's the worst. The after sound check nap on the bus and then the panic wake up of like, what fucking time is it? Is the worst. Like the immediate sweat. Just like I'm in trouble.
I don't. Yeah, that's a hard one. Waking up from a nap, it's hard unless it was like a 10-minute power nap.
Yeah,
if it was an actual like fell asleep in my bunk, and you wake up and it's dark, dude. I'm screwed.
You know what? With the athletic stuff too is like, and this is something that I still struggle with is the separating in my brain each one of my limbs to do something not in sync with the other one. I still have a hard time.
Well, linear, you're saying like like something different.
That kind of brain space of like, it's really like Brian from the National is one of those linear drumming guys that are, I'm like, I don't think I could have my right foot, right arm, and left arm all doing something not in sync with at least one of the other ones. I don't think I'm possible. Like it's possible for me to do
that's like next level though. I mean, that's a tough, I feel like that's.
But I imagine like with athleticism, like if you're doing a long ride and you've got a GPS on your handlebars and you're going up a hill, you're shifting with one hand, the other two hands are moving, and you're typing on your phone or you're grabbing water. Like that's got to help you with the like
your brain stuff. Yeah,
for sure.
It's funny on your phone. What do you think he's doing on his bike?
Oh, dude, I'm fucking.
He's on his GPS.
Yeah, I'm fucking.
Are you
sitting up?
Do you watching Netflix?
Well, if I'm gone for like 4 hours, Netflix.
How long of a ride do you typically do? Like what's?
It's anywhere between like an hour to 4 hours, probably.
That's a pretty broad space.
Either this or 400%.
Yeah. 100 to 400% is the fucking range. Yeah, you pick up the phone though because you're out all day. I mean, dude, think of it. You're talking about 4 hours moving time.
Yeah.
Right.
Not
right.
I stopped. I pissed. I stopped.
How often are you doing rides every day or
6 days a week? Pretty much. I give myself 1 day off, and then then I'll also do like. Don't forget, I don't have kids. I'll also do like yoga. I'll do like minimum 15 minutes of yoga every day. I've been doing that for 2 years. That's been a practice that has helped my mental health.
From afar, you seem like the healthiest person I know. Honestly, whenever I look at your stuff, I'm like, I feel like a piece of shit.
You got a pull-up bar in the background. You literally got a pull-up bar.
That's just for the pod.
That's for looks.
Yeah, that's for looks, dude. I don't.
You know Tim Riley though, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
he's also a cycle dude, and those guys are doing like the canyon around LA and shit with like the crazy sunglasses.
Yeah, full freak, dude.
It's crazy. Like he's straight edge, but like a lot of those guys, and especially runners, like the run club guys, they're like, we're gonna run drive 44 miles from here to a brewery.
Yeah, to a
And then
bar.
drink a bunch of shit
Yeah.
and run back. And
Yeah.
that blows my mind.
No way, dude. Nah, I've never been like, I love this topic. Alcohol before playing. Zero, never, no thank
Really?
you, not
Wow.
interested.
We were just talking about
not,
that.
not even once.
Dude, I have done it, I think, twice. And I'm talking like a shot or a glass of wine. I do not like, I think because for me personally, it's such a heightened experience that little bit turns
Dulls
into
it.
what feels like, no, it makes it feel like it's more.
I see.
My whatever's going on, the anxiety, the whatever, I'm not
Everything's
anxious, but
heightened.
like
Yeah.
it's heightened. So that alcohol, like the second I sit down, I feel like I'm going like this.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
I'm waving. I don't feel
Mhm.
planted.
Yeah. I feel that.
I know you sip, Nate. Like you don't have a problem doing
Yeah.
that. Reed, I feel like you had sippies when we were on tour,
Sippies.
right? You
Yeah,
were
I-
fine. Like
I had a sippy cup.
I
Yeah.
think it's just a fine line for me. It's like a balance. Like I've had too much and it's awful. It's hell. Your limbs don't work. It's just terrible. But I feel like a little bit I enjoy. Like I don't drink beer anymore on stage just because I also feel like it makes me feel like,
Ugh,
you know.
Yeah.
it's
I
I
awful,
don't really
yeah.
drink beer much anymore in general, but yeah, like I like a little bit of wine, like cold, like glass of wine on stage. Like, and I don't like drink a ton. I just like sip it here and there.
Just
But
a little sippy.
yeah, a little sippy. Like even just this last weekend when I played the Elkhart, I was drinking Amaro on ice, like just a little bit. You know what I mean?
Sophisticated,
Not
yeah.
like
Yeah, fancy.
See, I love that feeling. I don't like the after show feeling.
do you feel crappy afterwards?
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
Huh.
I get really bad hangovers anyway, like really bad, like in bed for a couple of days after I tie one on. But the like if getting drunk on stage, especially because I drink like a lot of bourbon, like heavy brown liquors and
Yeah.
gasoline.
Or-
But it's
Yeah.
like if I drink that stuff, after like loadout and all that kind of stuff, everybody's like ready to hang out and do the thing, and I'm like, I gotta go to sleep.
I just don't
Yeah.
feel good. I gotta do those stuff.
I'm feeling,
I don't like hitting that spot at all. Like now when I walk off stage, I don't feel that I've drank, if that makes sense.
that kind of
Like,
sweaty, clammy. Ugh,
Yeah.
that's
God,
bad.
it's awful.
I've had a
just
few of
thinking
those
about
shows. Yeah.
it. Yeah.
So you don't drink before shows, but do you do anything in particular that helps you kind of get in the right headspace before you go on stage?
Dude, I feel like I've had this conversation with each one of you individually.
Separately.
Dude, I've tried fucking everything, man. Like I did a full tour, like I did multiple full tours where it's like,
Have you tried reading the Bible or
yeah, dude, that's probably the only thing I haven't tried yet. Yeah.
just saying a quick little prayer?
I could do anything at this point. I will try anything because it's so physical, right? It's every limb. It's so physical. You think warming up is the smartest thing, and how many times does warming up do nothing? And then how many times do you do nothing?
and you're like, I should have
sick,
warmed up.
and you have the best show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
That's the best shit.
That's the crazy part. Yeah.
I actually think I have a theory that it's everything else on tour that makes the difference. It's how much sleep did I get? Did I have a time for myself at any point today to like just walk around by myself?
Yeah.
Am I like, do I feel present in the moment? It's less about the rate before I go out. It's like, am I just comfortable in my body? Which sounds,
Yeah.
woo woo or whatever.
No, I know
but
what you
like,
mean. Yeah.
Do I
Yeah.
feel like shit today or do I
Yeah.
not? Like,
It does affect it.
I noticed coffee. Coffee's a big one, dude. I noticed on the last tour, because I didn't have coffee for about a year, and we played, and it was probably the best I've felt playing, like mechanically, like every night my hands felt good. Every night, I just felt, I don't know what I guess like hydrated would be the best
Yeah.
way to say it.
Yeah,
'Cause when you get those days where you're like,
everything's
Yeah.
lubed
it feels
up.
like it's
Yeah.
tight.
Yeah.
Dude, so I started drinking coffee again on the last tour. Halfway through it, immediately I noticed that tacky, dehydrated
Interesting.
feeling.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, dude, because coffee's a diuretic.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're talking
yeah.
we're talking athlete level mechanics. And then I started fucking with that. And that's kind of something I actually noticed. But obviously alcohol, like nights you get shit faced, the next day
Bro,
you're fucking tight. Dude, coffee was one that I really noticed that would tighten me up. Sorry,
Yeah,
bad news.
That's crazy.
Sorry,
Yeah.
the only thing
Yeah.
that you get to do on
Yeah.
tour, I can't do that either.
I'd rather be tacky, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather be tacky.
I'll just fucking
Yeah, at this
fuck
point.
it. Fuck it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris, I feel like you've always been, and obviously I've known you for whatever it's been, 20 years. I always feel like whenever we have these conversations, I do take something from it because obviously we're all such different styles. but I always felt like you, and I'll never forget, we brought up When We Were Young so many times on this pod already.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
at that show, I remember talking to you, and I think I explained to you like how funny it is that how I started playing drums when I was 15 has had to like stick with me because fans are like, dude, you better go crazy and hit, you know what I mean? It's like this expectation. And I remember, dude, you were like, dude, just like,
yeah, fuck them kids,
no,
yeah.
but just like pace, dude, just go in and just like play it. And I remember I was like, oh, cool, I could do that. You know what I mean? Like, so these conversations, I feel like over the years and talking about this stuff, I've like taken stuff from those conversations and applied it. And I do think it helps. Like, I remember just like, cause I would go in and my only goal was to like hit as hard as I could at all times.
Yeah. A showman.
And I was
showman.
like, oh, you don't,
showman.
yeah, and I know that's part of my style.
Yeah.
I remember making that decision a long time ago, but even just the balance of like playing well and easing into it and treating it like a long haul, like the first song compared to the last song. It's like the difference of like that and how you ease into it is like so important. But anyway, yeah, I just always felt like that was the conversations we've had have like stuck with me with that stuff for sure.
I feel like it's the trickiest thing, man. Like, you know, we all do the same thing, and it is kind of like, it's such a mysterious fucking instrument, right? It's like, when I say that, I mean in the sense of like, but dude, you know what though? Like, you talk to guitar players and like Jack will say the same thing. He's like, my hands feel stuttery today. They feel like they're not moving the same way. So I guess ours just maybe is on like a greater level because it's full physical.
Yeah.
But dude,
I think I just, you know, my playing style is a lot more subdued than anybody else on the call. And I wouldn't consider myself, I've said this before, but like I view drums as a problem to be solved. I don't view it as a creative outlet. And so when I sit down to play, if I'm going to play a song, I'm trying to duplicate what was made on the record perfectly on the thing in front of me, including sonically. And I get hung up not on the physicality, but on the sonics of it, because at the level that my band was playing in, the ceiling height in the rooms are varying greatly. So every day my floor tom would sound more or less like a basketball than the day before.
Right.
And I would have to, that would be problem solving brain, like figuring that out. And that to me is the stuff that affects me more than the physicality. I feel more or less shitty about like how much I drank the night before. But my good shows or bad shows were less about the physicality and more like, sonically, did I solve the problem better or worse today than I did yesterday?
Yeah.
That's
the intuitiveness of it. Yeah. That's cool.
Did it feel like, and I don't mean it in like the woo-woo way, but like there's the most spiritual thing that I can do on stage is play a perfect set sonically, not even like physically play. Just like, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that is one thing about you, Chris, because when Say Anything and Bayside did that tour together, watching you night after night, it really stood out to me how good your posture is.
I was just about to say your posture.
I feel like you're one of the best when it comes to posture as a drummer. Like, how did that even, like, how did that even start? Because that's such an intentional thing, I feel like.
Dude, I feel, you know, like Nate, like you were saying, like the conversations we have, like dude, don't forget, like, I feel like all of us are the same way, right? We all started playing drums because we liked drums. We wanted to play drums. I still want to play drums. It's not because I'm in a band. I'm doing quote hands because I'm in a band and it pays my bills doesn't mean that I'm done playing drums. Like,
yeah, I feel
I want to get better, and better to me doesn't mean I know more drum fills. I could do more technical shit. Better is it not? Is it easier to do my job? But am I playing the best I've ever played, or am I plateaued? So things like, dude, I started measuring my snare height and my hi-hat height. So whenever I show up somewhere,
you know you're good.
Pop, and then I build the kit around that. Like,
really,
dude, it's like,
why were we not doing this always?
Stupid? What the fuck? Yeah, dude. Like, so
I still am like troubleshooting. Like, I'll get to a show and I'm like, oh, this feels right, and then you'll be in the mid set.
Yesterday, this fucking snare stand fit perfectly in here, and now I can't get it to fit here.
Who touched it?
Nuts.
Who touched my memory lock? Yeah, it's. I think like to answer your question, Reed, I always want to be getting better at playing my instrument, and all those small things. I think people focus so much on the rudiments, which are important, and the playing, but so much of how I think I got better was like learning to sit further back, learning to sit. Dude, if you think of it, like if you sit straight up and you play your kit, it literally feels like a different drum set than if you slouch. So like even just sitting there going like, if my kit's exactly the same and I sit this way. Now if I sit this way, what change? How does it change? Did it change better or did it change worse? So then it's like, all right, I guess I got to focus on fucking, dude, sit up. Then you get into a part and you're down here again. Then you're like, dude, sit back up.
I've also noticed if I raise my snare up to the point, almost to the point where it's uncomfortably high, it forces me to sit up because
That's
I have
smart.
to play it correctly, you know?
Yeah,
Because
that's
if it's
pretty
down
smart.
between my legs, I'm going to feel like I need to be closer to it and bend down.
Yeah, dude,
and
fucking placement. Stupid thing. Like
It's a stupid thing.
it's also weird when you sit behind someone else's kit that has a different, like even micro changes, and you're like, I could not.
yeah, straight
dude,
up.
Everyone's drum kit. Anytime I sit behind somebody else's drum kit, I'm like, what is that? I'm like, what even
That's
is
my whole life, dude. Someone sits behind my drums, they're like, what the hell's wrong with you?
Dude, I will say, Nate, your hi-hat pedal placement is, I couldn't, because your foot, the way
Well,
you,
that's crazy. I know that's crazy.
I mean, if it works,
Yeah.
it works. But
Is it like out?
it's straight back.
It's
straight
the other
back. So
direction.
it's
yeah.
here, and his toe is like this on the. on the
my
pedal.
so it's because again, bad habits that I started when I was 15 is like because I move my left foot so much, like while I'm
Right,
playing. 'Cause
back
I
and
don't
forth,
keep
like
I
bouncing.
don't keep time on the hi-hat much, only on like a few parts. Like some
Oh,
drummers
I
are
see, I
always
see.
on it. So my foot's moving, but I don't want it to just be like whoosh, 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 whoosh the whole time. So I just need the space. So my hi-hat pedal is faced the other way. So when I'm actually stomping, like when I'm actually using the hi-hat,
Yeah,
I'm like stomping on it like sideways.
Well, you
Yeah.
also like, I noticed when you play, because you're so animated, you brace yourself with your left foot. So you put your left
I
foot further
do.
out and then
Yeah.
you just fucking
Interesting.
Yeah.
sit over it.
All the bad
Yeah.
habits. Dude, I just had this thought the other day. I was like thinking about it and I'll keep it fast, but like it's so funny again with drumming and how many different styles there are. And I remember, and I was going to ask this question of like, I feel like eventually I had to make a decision of like what type of drummer I was going to be.
We were
like-
getting there. We were getting there.
Yeah,
and
we
now
were.
back at it.
Yeah. So it's
yeah,
like I
yeah.
remember going because like I talked to y'all on a couple ago about like, did y'all do any drum competitions? And I did some, and I was like, early on, I was like, I want to be the best drummer. I remember being like, I want to shred. I want to do all the hardest stuff. I wanted to learn double kick early. I wanted to like do the competitions. I wanted to do all this stuff. And I remember at a certain point, I was like, all right, there are so many ripping drummers. I like the second competition I did, I got second place. Funny story. I was wearing a crooked visor like this. And I couldn't see the dude raise his hand for my 20 seconds left. And I played way over and I lost. And so I got second place. And I remember it wasn't like that next day.
Fashion before function.
Oh, that's me always, dude.
Yeah.
They're like, stop.
But anyway, yeah, there were like 20 seconds. I just kept playing. So I got like second place, and I remember it like messed with me because I was like, they're like, oh, lost. And it wasn't like the next day that I made this decision, but I remember the dude that won too was just, I knew I could never touch him. Like I was like, there are people that have that thing. And I felt like I made a decision at some point. I was like, do I want to just progress in technical and be like this just incredible drummer, or do I want to be an entertaining drummer? And I remember that feeling of like, I feel like this is more where I should head. Not that I wanted to stop getting better or learning, but I was like, I feel like I needed to like free myself from being like, you're not going to be as good as some of these dudes or whoever. And so it's like, I'm going to find my own thing and be the thing that, I would go to shows and be like, as a drummer, I'd be like, that drummer rips. But I realize if you're not a drummer, no one cares, or is how it felt to me. And so I was like, how do I be like a drummer that if you don't know anything about drums, you can watch and be like, that's cool. You know what I mean? So I made these decisions when I was young, and it's kind of haunted me since then.
Yeah, but you've also developed you have a sound.
The
way that you play,
awesome.
like the I could pick out. I mean, there's like I just sent you that
style.
girl's track
Yeah.
the other day that I was like, the
Sounds like it.
drumming on this sounds like Amberlin because of the way that the kick and the snare it like chops
Yeah.
together.
Like the way things.
You've definitely did, and whether it was on purpose or accident.
Yeah. I mean,
you-
I'd like to think it was intentional. I think it's just who I was watching as well. But it's just a funny thought because, like, have you ever been to a show where, like, as drummers, you will watch a drummer and you'll be like, this, like, who's seeing this? This dude is ripping. And if you're with someone
nobody.
that's not a drummer, you're like,
Nobody.
you'll be like, dude, are you seeing this? And they're just like, what? And I'm like, he is shredding. He's tasteful or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah. And then you'll see a drummer that you are like, I'm not even going to watch. And then other people are like, yo, that dude rules. And you're like, not really. You know what I mean? Like, and I've always been the not really dude. Because
No.
But I'm not.
That's not true.
This isn't to be like, oh, let's like dive into that. But I've decided like at that spot of like, I think it'd be more fun if people were just like, oh, look at that drummer do his thing. You know what I mean? And
But
so
there's like a third category to that, just like playing tastefully. And I feel like you and all of you guys have that skill. It's just there's so much more. Yeah, there's just so much more to like.
Well, mine's because I can't shred, but I appreciate that.
well, like
I have literally played shows in a long sleeve windbreaker and not been sweating. So
hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about, dude.
That is awesome.
yeah, that's
See, I like sweating during a show. Like I feel like if I'm not like sweaty at the end of it, I didn't really do a lot.
Matt Rubano said some funny shit, to circle back to Matt, because he's just a monster. We were just talking about playing in general as a musician, and the word that stuck out to me. And I feel like it's always like kind of looked over, because you think like, do they, are they visually, is it visual? Is it, are they locked in? It's like, dude, musicality, choice. Right? How is the person you're playing with? He said, he's like, dude, I play with this one drummer who's just so musical. And you go, oh, fuck, dude, it matters. That's like the bottom of the list. Like, you forget that should be at the top, It said musicality and people playing with each other and going like, oh, I like playing with that person because they choose the right shit for the song.
Yeah, that's always been the thing I've been the most interested in, just from all the bands we grew up, Jimmy World, like listening and being like, dude, that was even though it was simple, it was just such a good part for that.
Well, dude,
song,
like choosing, I think the hardest thing about that, I think it's the most difficult thing to get good at, because you are who you are. You're going to pick what you're going to pick. And then if you're super focused on musicality, you're going to pick something and then go, is that the most musical thing? And now you're playing this head game of like, now you're listening to the vocal, you're listening to the bass, and you're like, is it stepping on it? Is it this? So then you're unlocking this whole other fucking...
That's growth, baby. It's growth.
Well, that's what I was going to say is it would be crazy to be an overplayer and just be like, this is what's working for me. I'm just going to do it forever and not think about it again.
Yeah.
There's a ton of bands like that, though.
Yeah, there is a ton. But the drummers that I think are the best, or any musician actually applies to everything, is to play fully who you are when you're doing it in that moment, but then keep moving forward. You can't look back at something and be like, God, I would never do that now, and be embarrassed about it. If you were fully doing who you are, you got to grow from it and own up to it.
We're all just trying to grow. We're all just trying
That's it, baby.
Get better.
Grow and learn.
Yeah.
Nate, 20 seconds.
What do you mean? Oh, I know.
You got 20 seconds left, and I was making a joke about how you missed the last 20 seconds, and we're talking at an hour.
And I mean, that ball cap is kind of shielding your vision.
Like,
nice callback.
I thought I had it. Yeah, I was like, I got this.
20 seconds. 20 seconds, Nate.
20 seconds, Nate.
I do have a hard out in 20 seconds. You're right. Dadgummit. Chris, thanks for doing this, especially this fast,
this is
dude.
great.
I hit you. I was like, yo, you want to be on it?
Fuck yeah. Second you showed me it, I was like, I must be on that podcast. Yeah, I got to be on that podcast.
You know what's funny? We didn't talk a lot of shit. That was the whole point of this. We're like, dude, let's talk shit.
Yeah.
It was productive.
I also want to point out that you're the first person we've had on here who has their instrument in the video shot.
Ooh.
With them.
On brand. Very on brand. Somebody screenshot this.
You know what's funny? This usually isn't in here. I set it up just for the podcast. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. When you said microphone, I was like, fuck, man, I'm not going to figure this out. Because I have the interface and everything, but it never wants
works,
to do anything on the fucking internet,
You made it happen.
I have a hard out too. I got to do some pull-ups, but
thank you guys. This was awesome.
Well, that was great.
Thanks, homies.
Good
Chris,
seeing you, dude.
Man.
Thanks, Chris.
Bye-bye.